Scott Disick claims he is prepared to marry Kourtney Kardashian. Hi, before we continue, please subscribe to the channel for all Kardashians news and update. Scott Disick and Kourtney Kardashian have shared a connection that has lasted for nearly 2 decades. Their relationship has always been a big part of the Kardashian family's story, especially on their reality shows. Even though they broke up years ago, there are still signs that Scott might want something more than just friendship. In a recent preview from an episode of their show, Scott openly said that he is still in love with Kourtney and even mentioned he's ready to marry her. When asked by Kim Kardashian whether he and Kourtney were getting back together, Scott didn't hold back his feelings. He said that no matter where Kourtney goes or what she decides, he will always support her. He then added something even more shocking. He said he was ready to marry her right then and there. These words weren't just a dramatic moment for TV. They showed how deep Scott's feelings for Kourtney still are. Scott even said that Kourtney knows they are meant to be together one day. He believes they will eventually get married and live a good life. Hearing this, Kris Jenner couldn't help but jump in and joke that Scott should go ahead and propose to Kourtney. She added that it would probably make Kourtney feel good, especially since they already share 3 children, Mason, Penelope, and Rain. Kourtney didn't immediately shut down the idea of getting back together. But she did point out that if Scott really wants things to work, he would need to make some personal changes. This wasn't the first time she's told him something like this. Over the years, their relationship has had many ups and downs, often tied to Scott's struggles with behavior and lifestyle choices. While fans might be excited about the idea of the two getting back together, there are reasons to be cautious. At the time Scott made those comments, he was dating Amelia Hamlin. Kourtney, on the other hand, was growing closer to Travis Barker, who she eventually married in 2022. Both couples had shared photos on social media showing their relationships growing stronger. Amelia had even spent time with Scott's children, showing how serious their relationship seemed. Kourtney and Scott first met back in 2006 during a trip to Mexico. They were introduced at a party hosted by a mutual friend. Kourtney didn't like Scott at first. She once said she thought he was annoying. But it didn't take long for her to change her mind, and soon the two became inseparable. Not long after they started dating, Scott appeared on the very first episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians as Kourtney's boyfriend. She explained at the time that they had been friends for about a year before they started dating, and once they got together, they stuck together for years, even though their relationship was far from easy. There was even a moment when it seemed like the two might get married. After a wild night out in Las Vegas, Scott asked Kourtney if she wanted to tie the knot. Kourtney said yes at first, and they even visited a wedding chapel with her family. But after thinking it through, they both agreed that it was happening too fast, and they decided not to go through with the wedding. Their relationship took a turn when Kourtney found messages on Scott's phone from another woman. This happened during season 2 of their show. Kourtney was hurt and confronted Scott, which led to their first breakup. But the separation didn't last long. By August 2009, they were back together again. That time, their reunion happened in Miami, and it wasn't long before Kourtney found out she was pregnant with their first child. On December 14, 2009, Kourtney gave birth to their son Mason. It was a big moment for the whole family and was even shown on their TV show. Kourtney became a mother for the first time, and Scott stepped into fatherhood. They both seemed happy, and fans loved seeing them together with their baby. However, trouble returned. Scott's struggles with alcohol and partying became a big problem. In one episode, he had a meltdown and punched a mirror, which led Kourtney to break up with him again. Even though they continued to co-parent and sometimes seemed close again, their romantic relationship stayed on and off. Over the years, they tried several times to make things work. They had 2 more children together, Penelope and Rain. Fans hoped that they would figure things out and finally settle down, especially since they always seemed to care deeply for each other. But Scott's issues kept coming back, and Kourtney began focusing more on her children and her personal happiness. Eventually, Kourtney started dating Travis Barker. Their relationship moved quickly and was very different from what she had with Scott. Travis seemed to support her in new ways, and he also became close to her children. In May 2022, Kourtney and Travis got married in a beautiful ceremony. It was a big moment for Kourtney, who had never been married before. Even after Kourtney's wedding, Scott remained part of the Kardashian family's life. He continued to appear on their show and stayed involved with his kids. While he was happy for Kourtney, he also shared moments on the show where he felt left out. Seeing Kourtney with someone else was difficult for him, but he tried his best to stay strong. Scott has dated other people since his final breakup with Kourtney. He had a long on and off relationship with Sofia Richie and then dated Amelia Hamlin. But those relationships didn't last, and many fans still believe that deep down, Scott only ever truly loved Kourtney. Even though they are no longer a couple, Kourtney and Scott share something very special, their 3 children and a deep understanding of each other. They've been through so much together, from good times to painful breakups, and somehow they always find a way to stay connected. In many ways, Scott's confession that he's still in love with Kourtney was not a surprise to fans. He has always had a soft spot for her, and it's clear that he never truly moved on. But with Kourtney now married and focused on her new life, it's hard to say what the future holds for them. Kourtney has said that she is happy where she is now, and being married to Travis has brought her peace and joy. Travis has been there for her in ways that she really values, and their relationship is built on trust and shared experiences. Still, Kourtney has always said she wants what's best for her kids, and she continues to co-parent with Scott with love and respect. For now, Scott seems to be focusing on being a good father and keeping his place in the family. His bond with Kourtney may have changed, but it's still strong. Their story shows that even if a romantic relationship ends, love can still remain in other forms. Fans will keep watching to see what happens next, because with this family, anything is possible. Whether or not Scott and Kourtney ever reunite, their story will always be one of the most talked about chapters in reality TV history. Eventually, Kourtney started dating Travis Barker. Their relationship moved quickly and was very different from what she had with Scott. Travis seemed to support her in new ways, and he also became close to her children. In May 2022, Kourtney and Travis got married in a beautiful ceremony. It was a big moment for Kourtney, who had never been married before. Even after Kourtney's wedding, Scott remained part of the Kardashian family's life. He continued to appear on their show and stayed involved with his kids. While he was happy for Kourtney, he also shared moments on the show where he felt left out. Seeing Kourtney with someone else was difficult for him, but he tried his best to stay strong. Scott has dated other people since his final breakup with Kourtney. He had a long on and off relationship with Sofia Richie and then dated Amelia Hamlin. But those relationships didn't last, and many fans still believe that deep down, Scott only ever truly loved Kourtney. Thanks for watching. Please do well to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Kardashian updates.